It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
We have another listener DM. And by the way, if you have anything you want to run by us, if you're having an issue at home and you're thinking, instead of solving this with my friends and family, I want to ask two idiots on a podcast what they think, because people seem to like to do that. You can DM us. DM me at The Cooper Lawrence on Instagram, or you can go to Cooper and Anthony. We have a Twitter page and we have a Facebook page, wherever you feel comfortable. You can go ahead and DM us there. And so this woman, Jessica, DM'd me on my Instagram. Mm-hmm. And here's what she said. This is a good one. I think this is interesting. I'm dying to know what you think as a parent. Okay. Hey, guys. Great show. Already, I love her. I'm writing in for some advice. My husband and I recently had our first child, and we have a babysitter who is the daughter of a friend of our family. Mm-hmm. Okay, got that? She's 16. She's been babysitting for several of our friends, and she seemed like a great choice. They know her. We've met her before. Seemed perfect. Last weekend, we went out to dinner and left our newborn with her. When we returned, everything seemed great. Baby was fine. She was fine. My husband took her home. But when he returned, he looked horrified. He said he needed to show me something, and he had me watch a video. Mm-hmm. Now, we have a dash cam video in the car. He showed me a video of the babysitter full on hitting on him in the car on the way home. I was very proud of my husband for how he handled it, but after he politely refused her advances, she then threatened him and said, "I'm going to tell my parents that you came on to me. So unless you make out with me, I'm going to tell them that you hit on me on the way home, and I'm going to turn around and blame it on you." Mm-hmm. My husband said to her, "Listen, the entire thing is recorded. We have a dash cam." As soon as he showed her the dash cam and the whole thing being recorded, she burst into tears and begged him not to tell anybody. So I want to know what you guys think what we should do. I think we should tell her parents and everybody that we know who is working with her, who has her working as their babysitter. My husband says, just get a new babysitter, move on, because there's no good outcome from telling people. It's going to create tension with her parents, with our friends, with us. He said, just let it go, move on. She says, I don't care about any of that. I don't care about those people. I think people should know about this girl.
I think you need to send us the video first so we can see it. But what are the parents going to do? Ground her for hitting on a 40-year-old guy? No. Just move on. Don't hire her again. I don't know why the guy even brought it up to his wife.
Oh, so you think that he should have just handled it, let it go, and not shared it with his wife? Because what's the point? If his intention is to not do anything with the girl and to let it go, no, but then he's going to tell the wife why he doesn't want to hire her again. So you can't just say, I don't want to hire her again and give no reason.
I know, but she's not going to think rationally. She's going to, think way through this, and it's not going to end up well. So just handle it. Look, we have a dash cam. I'm not going to tell anybody, but thank you. Have a nice day. Here's your $25.
No surprise, I side with the wife and not with the husband. And I disagree with you, and here's why. It's not so much that she hit on the husband. I think it speaks to her character and that she's impulsive and that she doesn't think things through. I understand that 16, you don't fully get the consequences of everything you do. You're still super immature, but I didn't do anything that stupid at 16. I didn't get myself in a situation like that. Like, that really speaks volumes about her impulsivity and her personality. That's the reason I would want to tell the other parents, because I wouldn't want somebody who's impulsive and who doesn't make good decisions and who's also 16 with my children. I'd want to let the other parents know. I wouldn't tell her parents because who cares? That's their problem. But I would tell everybody who I know that she's babysitting for, heads up, this chick's not well. She thought that it was okay to hit on my husband, even though the husband didn't give her any vibe. He literally just drove her home. You know what I mean? It's not like they've had a thing or he's a teacher in her school, so they have interaction on a regular basis. No, he's literally just the husband of some woman that hired her. So the fact that she would make a decision like that and not just hit on him, but then try to blackmail him.
Mm-hmm.
Not only you're not going to work for me again, you're not going to work for anybody we know.
If you tell the other parents, the husbands are just going to feel bad. She didn't hit on me. What's wrong with me?
That's not really the concern here.
I thought I'm better looking than John, but I guess I'm not. In the 16-year-old world, John's a much hotter guy than I am. So yeah, and there's a movie called what was that? Poison Ivy with Drew Barrymore. That basically the same thing that happened, except minus the dash cam. But if I think back to me at 16, and if there was a dash cam in my car, we would be talking from jail right now. I would still be in prison at this time.
Right, but you were with other 16-year-olds. You weren't hitting on the mother of a baby that you babysat for. Like even that. Okay, so forget about the fact that she's hitting on a guy older. Mm-hmm. She's hitting on somebody who hired her. Do you know what I mean? So if you're 16, you're trying to make money, you don't want to screw that up. You don't want to screw up making money in any way, shape, or form. So don't hit on your boss. Like, don't then go get a job at, like I did at 16, the yogurt shop, and hit on your yogurt boss, or your yogurt manager.
Did you?
No. Oh, no. Guy was hideous. Thank God.
Did he hit on you?
No. I was hideous. Thank God.
You both were hideous.
We were both hideous. Nobody wanted anybody. And that's why I kept my job. That's why I had that job every single summer when I was in high school, because everybody was hideous and nobody wanted anybody.
Yeah, all your friends were coming and going. They were getting fired and hired, and not you.
Right.
You have to think 3 steps down the line. What is going to come out of this? How is this going to end? Is this going to ruin her life being 16? You do stupid things when you're 16. I think you just, you say, no, thank you. We have a dash cam. Sorry. Have a nice night.
Well, you're not calling the police. You're not ruining her life. You're just letting other parents know that the person they're hiring.
It's going to get back to her parents eventually.
But that's not my problem. Okay. I'm more concerned with the people who she's babysitting for, having this girl come into your home and hit on your husband or bring in a guy or just do something really untoward. You know what I mean? Like really uncool at your job. That's your job. Mm-hmm. You're at work. You're in the car. You're at work. Do you know what I mean? Like and I feel bad for guys because I've heard guys say that they don't want to be alone with women or young women, or certainly women that are in a work situation. I'm surprised that the husband didn't make sure, or the wife didn't drive her home, or the husband didn't have like a friend with him. I've heard that so many times from friends of mine that have like little kids. They're like, I never drive the babysitter home. I get her an Uber. Like they all say that. Not one guy I know that has little kids drives the babysitter home. Not one.
I, as a father, and my 2 kids now, thank God, don't need babysitters anymore, but I never had a babysitter.
Really?
Never hired one.
So you just left the kids and went out?
Yeah, I duct taped them to the tree and said,
"That'll hold them for a couple hours. Come on, let's go to Applebee's.
Have fun." No, it was always just my parents or her parents. We never had. If they couldn't watch the kids, we just didn't go out. So I never hired somebody. I think it's weird to bring a 16-year-old in to babysit for your child.
I babysat like crazy when I was 16 and 17. Yeah. I babysat for like everyone in the neighborhood.
Babies, though?
Well, not babies.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
A newborn, I would be really freaked out having a 16-year-old watch my newborn. Like a 5-year-old, I got no problem with that. But like a newborns freak me out anyway. You think they're made of porcelain. So I don't know if I would trust a 16-year-old.
Well, I guess because the neighborhood I grew up in, everyone knew each other. We all grew up together. Our parents grew up together. Our grandparents, like everybody knew everybody in my neighborhood. And one of the grandparents, she was everyone's, we called her the Zeta. Mm-hmm. So she was the Zeta. If you had a baby, like a little tiny baby, you called Zeta, and Zeta came over and took care of your baby. But if you had a kid that was like 9, 10 years old, Zeta didn't want to be with a kid that could talk. So if the kid can talk, Zeta wasn't interested. So it was like me, my friend Annie, and this other girl, Lisa, across the street. Like we were the ones who did the babysitting. Like if one of us wasn't available, we had like we were like the crew. You know what I mean? Like if you called us
group
first.
text back then.
Right. We were the group text back then. Right.
You get on the babysitter group text.
Right. If we were the Babysitters Club, the original Babysitters Club, like, and it was funny because if you jumped over us, because we had seniority in the neighborhood, if you jumped over us and called this like one girl, Amanda, who was younger than us, it's like, excuse me, hi. You got to knock at the door. Hi. We realized you might have made a mistake. We saw you called Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's Lisa, Annie, or Cooper. Then like if Lisa can't do it and Annie can't do it and Cooper can't do it, then you call them. Obviously, you don't know this neighborhood and how we work around here. Like we were like a little gang.
Our next step is beating her up.
Exactly.
So she doesn't even answer the phone no more. So when your phone rings, you don't answer it. It goes to the answering machine, and that's where it ends.
That's right. Yeah, we kidnap your kid next.
What else you got? Give me more! It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
What do you think about having a contract when you first start dating a guy? Make a contract of things you want to happen in that relationship.
Oh,
right from the
yes.
get-go.
This would be awesome. Are you kidding? I would love if there were contracts, but nothing like, I don't want you to commit to me the rest of your life. I'm just like a dating contract, like while we're dating.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. When I text you, text me back. If you're not interested in me, do not ghost me. Just say, I'm not down with it, or I'm not into it, or I met someone else. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with a guy saying, I'm not into you. Mm-hmm. Because it's funny. My grandfather used to tell me all the time when I was a little girl, if a guy isn't into you, something's wrong with him. Like, that's the attitude he gave me. Like, it was never.
Did he know you?
It was never you're the nightmare or he doesn't like you. My grandpa was always like, you are perfect. You're amazing. If a guy doesn't want you, there is something wrong with him. So he drilled that in my head. So while I was dating, which wasn't that long ago, but when I was dating, if a guy wasn't interested in me, I was like, must be mentally ill. Like it never occurred to me that I did anything wrong. I always went like full grandpa on him. Like, this guy must be crazy.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm awesome.
My grandpa said I'm awesome. So obviously something's wrong with you. So yeah, if you're not into it, I can't stand when guys just ghost. I don't like that.
Well, girls do it too.
If we had like one or two dates, yeah, I don't owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. Ghost me. I'll ghost you. I don't care. But if if we've had a few dates, if we've done more than kiss, I think you can say, make an excuse if you don't want to come out and say you don't like me. I don't care. Just say, I just got out of something and I'm not ready to get right into something again. Or, I don't think we're on the same page, or your breath stinks, or whatever you want to say. I don't care. But say something. Because at least me, I cannot begin to tell you how many texts my friends and I would sit and analyze. Like, okay, this is the last text I got from him. I haven't heard from him for like 4 days. So does this text say that I'm going to hear from him again? Or is this a ghosting potential? And we would analyze the hell. We'd go out for wine and sit there and analyze the heck out of it. Don't make us do that. Just say, not going to happen, girl.
Okay, this 21-year-old woman from Atlanta, Georgia, Ann Wright, what she did, she made a 17-page relationship contract.
That's a little much. That's a little long.
That's a little crazy. She's only been dating this guy for 2 weeks.
I asked for 2 things and she has 17 pages. What does she have on there?
17 pages. Well, the highlights of it are no silent treatment.
Oh, okay. If they get mad at each other?
If there's a fight going on, no silent treatment. You know what that is. You
Are you kidding? I live for the silent treatment.
Yeah, you invented it.
I invented the silent treatment. That would not be on my resume. That would not be in my contract. No, thank you.
No, it would be on your contract for him.
That I can't give him the silent treatment?
No, that he can't give you the silent treatment. Or I don't know, because you would actually like the silent treatment.
I enjoy the silent. I like when we go to our corners. I like not talk. If we have a huge fight, I want to not talk to you. You go your place, I go my place. We don't talk to each other. That's fine. Yes, I'm not down with the no silent treatment. I'm pro silent treatment.
I do like that. I like to talk it through because I don't want to build it up in my head why we are fighting.
But if you're really angry, you might say something you regret. You might say something cruel. You might say the wrong thing. I think the good thing about the silent treatment is not the silence. It's the time you have to think about things, to go, was I wrong? Was he wrong? Why was he wrong? Let me explain to him why because obviously he was wrong. So let me tell him why.
You're never wrong. He's always wrong.
I only have one reason, but if I think about it, I can come up with like 4 more.
Okay. No isolation from loved ones.
Well, of course not. I mean, that should be the fact that that's even on a contract. If somebody isolates you from your loved ones, they're control freaks.
She's got issues.
Yeah, she's got issues. Like that's something that wouldn't even be on I wouldn't even think of that. Like who does that?
Yeah. So this is had to have happened before. She's got issues. Well, it's 17 pages long. So definitely she has issues. She brings you a 17-page contract 2 weeks into it. Unless she's spitting out gold coins, I ain't dating her anymore.
Yeah.
5 workouts a week.
What does that mean? He pays for 5 workouts or she allows him? He has to work out 5 times a week?
He has to work out 5 times a week. So does she, I guess. I mean, that goes both ways. So she wants him to stay in shape. He wants her to stay in shape. That's fine.
I think, stay in shape is when you're young is okay. Like, yeah, when you're super young, everyone, but like what's in shape? You know what I mean? Like I have friends that you would look at them and they don't look like bodybuilders or fitness people, but they work out a lot. You know what I mean? I think that's problematic because everyone's definition of in shape is different.
I know, but you 5 workouts a week, you're going to be in some type of, you're not going to look like me. You're going to be in some type of shape.
Not necessarily.
If I worked out 5 days a week, I would look a lot different than now.
No, I have a friend that I'm thinking of right now you would see her as like a little bit larger sized. She works out more than I do. Like she works out a lot. She's super healthy, but she's just a little larger. That's just the size she is. So I think that's problematic. The requesting staying in shape. Like to me, that's a red flag. It's
on the contract. So I can see, hey, have you had 5 this week? No, I got to go to the gym.
Yeah, no, that's body shaming. No, I don't like that.
Body shaming 2 weeks into it. Also, he has to pay for date nights.
Does he make more money than she does?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's important because if he's working a job where he's not making very much money,
and
it's not even about money. Okay, so now that's, again, you got to be more clear about this.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for date nights, quote unquote. Does that mean if they go out for pizza, is that okay? Or is she expecting like to be taken out, to like hula hands? Like, what is she expecting?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every time they go out, movies, bar, whatever, he has to pay.
No, that's expensive. I don't think that's fair. I think maybe every 2 times he pays and then she pays the 3rd.
Well, that's why you highlight a couple of these things and you say, I'm not going to sign that unless you remove, 50% of date nights or something. I don't know.
I need to be like a dating lawyer.
Yeah. And he has to make a romantic gesture once every 2 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, now that I would change. I would need a romantic gesture way more than once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks is a lot.
Are you kidding? That's almost never.
I haven't done it in 72 years.
Well, you're a terrible husband.
There's no way. I wouldn't sign that just for the once every 2 weeks. I would be once every 6 months.
But what's a romantic gesture?
And that's the thing.
That's like buying her a flower. That's easy to do. You can do that every couple of days or every week or 2, whatever. Saying you look beautiful or saying something romantic to her or telling her, some thought you had about her that's kind of like hot. Is that considered like what's a romantic gesture? Does she have to be bought something?
How about grabbing her ass while you walk through the kitchen? Is that good?
when you're with somebody as long as I've been with my boyfriend, yes.
How about coming behind her and grabbing her? You're all right with that? That's my once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, that's a compliment.
All right.
Like, I must look, if he grabs my ass, if he barely notices me anymore after like 10 years. So if he grabs my ass, I'm like, oh, I'm doing something right around here.
Well, the size of your kitchen, if you just walk into the kitchen while you're in there, he grabs
We rub asses, yeah, by accident. Yeah, that's true.
And so she's got 17 pages. He has only one rule in his page, and that's she has to take off her shoes in his apartment.
I would have went blowjob, but okay. Fine. If that's...
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
Movies that are coming out for the fall season that you might be looking forward to. One, I know I'm looking forward to, and I'm counting the days down.
Okay, what is it?
The Many Saints of Newark.
Oh, it's funny. I just saw a trailer for that, and I was like, Anthony must be all over this.
Oh, it's coming out October 1st. I'm just happy that it's going to be on HBO Max.
Well, do you want to explain to people what it is?
Okay, it's the origin story of The Sopranos, but it's not going to really focus on Tony Soprano. It's going to focus more on Dickie Moltisanti,
right,
which is Christopher's father. So
right, the DeMeo crime family.
Right. So I can't wait for this. They're going to have Junior. They're going to have Tony Soprano. They got Tony Soprano's kid playing Tony Soprano.
Yeah, Michael Gandolfini is in it. He's playing Tony Soprano.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Liotta is in it. John Barenthal, if you remember from like the first 2 seasons of The Walking Dead, is in it. Vera Farmiga, who is from like all those horror movies that we love, like Insidious and The Conjuring and stuff like that. And this actor named Billy Magnuson that I love. He's from Boardwalk Empire. He's amazing. He's so talented. So yeah, that is going to be really good. The Many Saints of Newark. What else you got?
But it's written by David Chase. So that's why I'm so excited. The original guy that did The Sopranos. No Time to Die is finally coming out.
How many have they kept putting that off? Is that what kept happening? Or were they reshooting it? What was going on that it took so long? Because we've been hearing about this movie for I feel like 7 years.
It has been, and I think it's been on the shelf because of COVID. They don't know when to. They put so much money into this movie. You don't want to put it out when it can make $5 million at the box office. You want it to be a big movie. It's coming out October 8th, so right around the corner. You can finally see it.
Right, and it's Daniel Craig's final James Bond. And the thing I've been hearing about it is that they sort of wrote in like a James Bond goodbye speech, and there will not be a dry eye in the house, is what I heard. And then Rami Malek, who won the Oscar for the Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, he's playing the evil character.
Oh.
Yeah, so that should be really good. And of course, Ray Fiennes is in it as M. So it's going to be fantastic. I love the Bond movies. I will go back and rewatch all of them. And I have to say, I used to think that Sean Connery was the ultimate Bond. I'm convinced now it's Daniel Craig.
Really? You like him more
no
better?
Question.
Okay.
Way more better.
Way more better? Okay.
Yep.
October 22nd, Dune. I don't remember the first Dune. Am I the only person that don't remember the original Dune?
I feel like it was a little too sci-fi for you. It was maybe a little, not really. You were too young. It was 1984, so you were way too young to really get into the Dune thing. And it was for all those like, I don't know, maybe people older than us who read the book, who were kind of like sci-fi nerds. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't know it.
Right. That's why you don't know it. But we've been hearing a lot about it because it's starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. And then, of course, Jason Momoa is in it as well. And some other actors that you'll recommend. Aquaman is in it. So other actors that you'll totally recognize. But this is supposed to be like Timothée Chalamet's big, I don't say comeback because he hasn't really got anywhere, but this is the movie that people have been waiting to see him in. His fans are just like, they can't wait. So it's out when? It's
coming out October 22nd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the next one is Eternals. It's coming out November 5th. This has Angelina Jolie, Kit Harington, Selma Hayek. It's the Marvel thing. I don't know. So
Right.
Name a movie Anthony won't see in November.
The Eternals you might want to see. It had a $200 million budget. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be one of those movies that is going to be, and it's that female director who won the Oscar for Nomadland.
Okay, I'm not dying of COVID for this movie.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, fine.
There's not many. I'm gonna. Okay, Spencer, Kristen Stewart is Princess Diana.
Oh, right. Did you see the photos of her when they were first releasing them?
No, I'm looking at one now, and she looks pretty good.
It's uncanny. Like, it was. I remember when they first started shooting it, and they released like the very first photos of Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana, and they were doing like side by sides. People were just like, "Whoa, that is an amazing transformation."
But Princess Diana was tall.
Yeah,
Kristen
all right. So that's
Stewart's
the only
not really tall.
problem here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife coming out November 11th. Yes, I want to see it.
Do you?
Oh my God, yes. I'm such a fan of the first two, at least. And there's supposed to be a big thing at the end where you go, so I want to see it.
And everyone's back. So it's Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson. So the original guys are back. Paul Rudd is going to be in it. It's Jason Reitman and Ivan Reitman. You know, Jason Reitman, who is like that young, amazing director who has done like tons of great films that you probably loved, like Up in the Air and Juno and Labor Day. And he's like the guy.
Right. So this movie's going to be, it's going to be right. The next one, Red Notice. That's the new Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot and
Gal
Ryan
Gadot,
Reynolds
yeah.
movie. And Ryan Reynolds. They're both in it.
Yeah. Is it? This is a weird question. I don't know much about it other than I've heard about it. Is it supposed to be a comedy?
No, it's got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. Also, it's about the world's greatest art thief.
Okay,
and the
is it
world's
supposed to be
greatest
a
con
comedy?
artist.
I think it's supposed to be a comedy. It's an
is
action comedy. Yeah.
Well, it's on Netflix, so I won't be watching that. November 19th comes out Tick, Tick, Boom with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, okay. Can I just tell you that I saw Tick, Tick, Boom on Broadway? And it's a great story. It's so good that I can't believe it took them this long to put it out in a movie, because it was on Broadway in like a billion years ago.
And are they going to sing in it?
Yes.
Seeing that. Next.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's one of those, it's one of those singing movies that it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna upset you.
The only singing movie I can deal with is
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Horror, that's it.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Yeah, I remember like I got taken to Tick, Tick, Boom by my parents. Remember my mom is a Broadway producer lady, so I remember going to see it and being like, that was amazing. So I think it's gonna be good. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did Hamilton, is directing it.
Oh, okay. I won't see it.
Okay.
The next movie I won't see is King Richard with Will Smith. And it's,
right. I don't think anyone's going to go see.
It's the biopic of Richard Williams, the father of Venus and Serena. So.
Oh, right. Well, okay. Let me just say that, and both of them are in it, by the way. Serena Williams and Venus Williams are going to be in it. I think that's going to be an interesting story. I really do. I don't think it's not going to be in the movies, is it? Is that? It feels like a made for TV.
It's going to be in the movie theater, and it's going to be on HBO Plus. So
okay, I like when they do that. Yeah, I mean, I think the story is going to be really interesting. I don't know if feel like Will Smith has kind of lost his mojo.
Dude, save the world.
Right.
That's all you need to do. Kill aliens. That's all we want to see you do.
Will Smith is an amazing superhero, but once he tries to do these small little stories, they tend not to work.
Yeah, the only one I thought he did where he wasn't saving the world was the one with Margot Robbie. Loved that movie.
Oh, the Will Smith movie?
Yeah, because Margot Robbie was in it, and she looked really hot in the movie. I mean, extremely hot. And the last one coming out December 22nd, I will go to the theater. I will risk the COVID to see Matrix.
Oh, are you gonna?
Yeah, I got to. I've always been a fan. I've loved the Matrix. The last Matrix movie.
3. Yeah, the last three was the last one.
Yeah, and not good. Stop it. They should have stopped at 2 and not did a third one. Third was horrible. But the good news is this is coming out on HBO Max also. So it's theaters and HBO Max, which I wonder at some point I see it maybe in the future where HBO Max is going to charge extra for this crap.
Right. I wonder also, you're right. Yes.
Disney
It's going to be
does.
interesting. And all your favorites about Keanu Reeves is back. Carrie-Anne Moss is Trinity. Priyanka Chopra is in it. Neil Patrick Harris is in it. And again, directed by the Wachowskis. The Wachowskis are involved again.
Yeah, and they shouldn't because they screwed up the third one. It was a really bad movie. They shouldn't be allowed to do any other movie ever again, but I will still see it. So
I love them. So far, I'm seeing all those movies except for the Will Smith one.
Oh, you're not. You're not risking COVID to go to the movie theater to see any movie.
Okay, I'm in New York where there's like no COVID right now, so I'm going to take advantage of it.
Your life to go to the movie theater to see any movie. I guarantee it.
I'm risking my life on Tuesday to go see Devo. I know I have to. I got sucked in. I know.
I'm not allowed to say anything about Devo, so I won't.
I'm going to wear 2 masks.
One on your head?
No, one on each ear.
One on each ear.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
Flight attendants have had it with you. They're sick of you. They're sick of your shit.
Mm-hmm.
They have a list of things they would like you to stop doing right quick.
Boarding their planes. They want you to stop boarding their planes. They like the plane when they're empty.
They probably do. But actually, when you walk on the plane, don't ignore them. They don't like when you ignore them. You know how they all stand there, hey, welcome to whatever airline. Like, come on, hi. And you just sort of walk on. They think that's rude because that's their home. They're inviting you in, is how they see, even though you just paid too much money for a ticket.
$1 gazillion.
I know. They think it's rude. They want you to just say hi. It's not so bad to say hi. Start the flight off on a positive note. Just say hi back.
And I do. I'm nice to them when I walk in because I'm hoping my bag isn't too big. I don't want them to stop me. So I want to just keep on moving. So hi.
Right. Don't ask them if you're going to make a tight connection and if we're landing on time. Like if you are landing on time and you have a tight connection, here's the problem. They don't book those things. Mm-hmm. You know, some third party site books it. If their airline books you, you will make it. But you probably did it through Expedia or Kayak or whatever. And they're not responsible for that sort of thing. So don't even ask them because you're probably not going to make a tight connection.
They don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know until they get out on the runway what's even going to happen.
Right, exactly. Stop poking them to get their attention. It's so rude. You would not do that to a waiter. You wouldn't poke them. Hey, can I get more water? You just wouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? So just...
Yes, I would.
No, don't poke them. Don't touch them. They're not there to be touched.
I'm not poking you, but I'm hitting that little button. Bing, bing, water.
Yes.
Bing, blanket, pillow.
Okay, hang on. So yes, push that button instead of poking them if you need. But if they're walking by, you're not going to hit the button. If they're walking by, just say, excuse me. Just talk to them. Don't touch them is my point.
Hey, honey. Sweetheart.
You know?
Over here. Hey, like this. Sweetheart.
Well, maybe don't do that.
Okay.
Try and be nice to them. You know, they don't like when you ring the bell to hand them trash. You can ring the bell if you want to eat something, if you need something, if something happened to the person sitting next to you, if you have a reason. But just to hand them trash, they will come around and they will have a trash bag and they will do that eventually on their time. They have a schedule when they do things.
Right.
So don't ring the bell to hand them trash. They have other things going on. Yeah, that's a douchebag move. Absolutely. Right. Please stop taking off your shoes on the plane. It's gross.
People do it all the time.
I know, but they say it's gross. And the problem is a lot of people, if you have socks on and it's a long flight. See, here's the thing. I bring plain socks. I bring an extra, it's always cold. I bring an extra pair of like those fluffy socks And if it's a long flight, so I can curl up in my little tiny seat and take a nap. I don't want to curl up in my little seat with my big, giant, stupid shoes. So sorry, I'm taking my shoes off. They're saying if you're barefoot, don't take your shoes off. And if you must take your shoes off, don't walk around the plane with your shoes off.
Right, because I'm going to make fun of you. And I'm going to throw my trash at you.
It's one thing if you're sitting and you pull your shoes off like me to curl up in your little seat, but to take off your shoes and then go walking around, I put my shoes right back on if I want to go to the bathroom or stretch my legs or whatever, you know?
No, I don't care if you have stupid shoes like you. Leave them on. It's not your house. Leave your shoes on. I don't need to smell your feet.
If I'm flying from New York to Charlotte, you can say that it's only a couple hours. If I'm going to LA and I'm on the flight for 5 or 6 hours, I'm not sitting there in my shoes. I'm sorry. I'm taking a nap. I'm curling up. I'm not going to do it with heels on. Sorry. Just saying.
Okay.
It's not a wise idea to get up to use the bathroom as soon as you get on the plane or as soon as they take off. Here's why. If you go use the bathroom, like let's say you get on the plane and you run into the bathroom, people are trying to get on the plane. Now you're another person in the aisle trying to get to your seat and you're just jamming things up and it's going to be longer before they take off. See what I'm saying?
That's a douche.
Yeah, don't do that. They also say stop using the galley as your personal yoga studio. Now, it's different to get up and stretch your legs in the aisle, but the galley where they sit, it is against FAA rules for us to even be back there. We can't even go back there, let alone stand back there and stretch and put our legs up and do yoga.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody go back there, so I don't know people that do that.
Well, they have, obviously, which is why they're asking you to knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
Other things flight attendants really don't like when you do. Apparently, a lot of people will say, well, other airlines, it's like, well, my sister gets to do that or my mother gets, they don't care. Telling them what other airlines do is not going to change anything. Their airline has their policy. They're not going to suddenly, if you're flying American Airlines, they're not going to suddenly do what Southwest does just because you're complaining. They don't care what Southwest does.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Well, because you can't say anything to Southwest that JetBlue does, because JetBlue is awesome. Southwest sucks.
We love JetBlue.
Yeah, I love JetBlue.
Okay, question. If they come by with the cart, the drink and the food cart, which that's like a rarity, they finally came over, and the person sitting next to you is sleeping, does the flight attendant want you to wake them up?
No. Heck no.
Do you think it's polite to wake somebody up and say, hey, don't miss the snacks, don't miss the drinks?
No, don't bother them.
Good job. Right. They said waking up your neighbor to hand them a snack or a drink is not polite. If they wake up and they're hungry or thirsty, they can just hit the call button and we'll be happy to bring them something to eat or drink.
Okay, then I want rules for them. Because when I go on a plane, the main problem I have is when they wake me up to ask me if I want something. No, I got up at 4:00 in the morning to do a stupid morning show. Now all I want to do on a plane is sleep. So don't wake me up.
I have 3 more for you.
Okay.
You can ask where they're flying over, but they definitely don't know because they keep switching them from flight to flight. It's rare that you get the same person who flies the same route every single time.
Mm-hmm.
That's rare. That almost never happens. So they don't know what you're flying over because they don't usually fly there. Like if you're flying to Chicago, their last flight, they flew to Dallas. They don't know what's going on between Dallas and Chicago. It's their first time too.
Well, then again, fly JetBlue. Because you can switch it to channel 3 and they'll show you which
you
state
can watch.
you're flying
You can watch
over.
your little plane flying. Yeah, that I do like. Not watching your children.
Oh,
They don't like. Obviously, nobody likes that. No. There's not anybody on a plane that's like, go ahead. Because here's the thing. They said a lot of parents feel like, well, where's the kid going to go? The kid can't get lost or jump off the plane. So they let the kids run around on the airplane. So they figure they're safe. They're not thinking about the other passengers. They're just thinking about their own kids.
Okay, if you fly with a dog, they're going to put a dog in a cage and put them underneath the airplane.
Yeah.
So I think you should be able to put children in a cage and put them underneath the airline with the pets because it's safe for the pets. You love the pets more than you love the kids. So everybody would be happier. There would be more seats available if you just put the kids with Fluffy.
Right. Actually, if I was a kid, I'd rather be with the dogs than with the adults.
Yeah, so Fluffy can have somebody with her that she knows. So put the kid down there.
And finally, flight attendants would like you to know in these trying times, don't even bother arguing with them over the face mask policy. It is what it is. There's nothing they can do about it. You're stuck. That's it.